I thought it would be interesting just to talk a little bit about a movie quickly. I don't know if anybody remembers those, like going to a movie theater. It seems like a very long time ago that any of us did something that social. But I was thinking about a couple of my favorite movies, one of which was the first time I made out with somebody in a movie. I don't know if you have a fond memory of that. For me, it was Cool Runnings. I don't know if you remember. I know it seems random, but it was the Jamaican bobsled team. Okay, so that maybe that was like my first love, like of the Caribbean. I don't know. It was prediction of the future. But anyways, I digress kind of. Another movie that I loved and I remember seeing in the theaters was the movie Seven. And I got some ideas from Nate on this presentation at Miles. I don't know if you even knew that this was one of my favorite movies in like a creepy way. But I saw this in a theater. If you're trying to do the math, I definitely was not 18. And if you've seen the movie, you know why you should be 18 before you see it, because I still have like unpleasant thoughts about it. Some of those visuals still like really give me the creeps. But if you haven't seen it, it's a psychological thriller, and Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman are like these partners. They're detectives, and they're investigating homicides with the seven deadly sin like motif of all the murders are tied to the seven deadly sins. I don't know if you guys feel like this, but like right now, real life is scary enough. So I wouldn't like rush out to, I was going to say Blockbuster, or Netflix and rent it this weekend. But it is a pretty good storyline. So anyways, how the hell is this relevant to anything we're talking about at eTourism? We kind of found a way just to, I would say lightheartedly, but it's not that lighthearted, talking about the seven deadly sins, but just to kind of switch things up and talk about how does this apply to client relationships, vendor relationships, agency relationships. I don't want to say that I'm up here speaking on behalf of like every tourism industry CMO, but let's be honest, those client and vendor relationships can be somewhat tricky. I think like any relationship, they require a lot of trust, require a lot of candor, honesty. These partners can be and should be your trusted advisors, maybe sometimes even your friends. We like to say they're extensions of your staff. Certainly some of my agency relationships have lasted much longer than my personal relationships, but there are also agencies that I don't want to have even like a drink with at the hotel bar, even if you're buying. So using the seven deadly sins as our guide, I'm going to shed some light on some of these sins that can cause real friction between partners and clients, not just agencies, but reps and vendors and sales reps. If you're trying to build a new relationship or improve an existing one, just grab a cup of coffee if you're at home, or if it were me at home, I'd like have to go turn off my Roomba, and then we'll like kind of review these. So let's see. The first one we're going to start with is pride. I'm not going to take credit for your ideas, so please don't take credit for mine. Just kidding. I'm totally going to take credit for your ideas. But please still don't take credit for mine. That's just how this works, right? So clients, we're paying agencies for the ideas. We're excited for you to come up with ideas. We're excited to hear ways that your teams are thinking about us. In the case of vendors and sales reps, you're trying to get us to pay for your ideas or your products. But if I'm the one coming up with the ideas and you're the one kind of passing them off as your own, or even worse, you're using them to win other business, that's a big problem for me. I venture to say that's a big problem for a lot of clients. I think for those of you who've worked with me in the past, I certainly don't need to be the smartest person in the room. I like to partner with companies who are really experts in their field and let them do great work. They come up with great ideas. My team comes up with great ideas. Every now and then I'll come up with an idea. And then the client gets the credit, and the client gets the award, and you send your clients up to the stage to pick up the award. A good client is always going to give you credit for that work when it's due, and even more valuable, I think, than any awards, good clients are going to recommend you to other clients, and especially in the destination space. We know it's a small world. The second deadly sin we'll talk about is greed. If I say I'm broke, I am broke. Otherwise, I think clients love to talk about how we have a big budget, and so we want all the agencies to do great work and fight over the work we're going to do. But if I say I'm broke, I'm broke. Deals and gimmicks and overselling, I think these things always kind of suck. But now more than ever, being real, being realistic, being honest, being empathetic is just so critical. Our industry has obviously taken major hits this year. Some DMOs are just starting to recover. Other DMOs, it's going to take them a really long time. Right now, many of us are kind of getting back to basics and hitting the reset button. So what are the projects or programs, products that we really need at this time? And what can we afford given really heavily reduced budgets right now? Don't bring out the Rolex when we only have budget for a Fossil watch. That's what I used to wear. Some may say Swatch, but like Fossil was important to me in my youth. I promise you, a good client wants you to make money. I say that to my partners all the time. It's how you hire great work, or it's how you hire great talent so that they can do great work on my business. It's how your agency is able to innovate products in order to keep us evolving as a destination. We want you to be successful, but be honest, be realistic. Don't waste our time. Don't waste your time. I think people are generally, especially today, pretty honest about what their financial situations are. Sloth. Is there anything worse than the help desk? We're in a human industry. Be human. Client service is more important than ever. I feel like every slide I'm saying it's more important than ever. But these things are really, really important right now. We're all pivoting. We're adapting every single day. We're all zoomed out. I get it. But pick up the phone, get on a video conference. We need meaningful and really consistent communication with our partners right now. Don't count on a help desk to understand what your client is going through. Their needs, their frustrations. Reach out, make a human connection. It reminds your client that your business is not just important to them, but it's actually a priority. Next, we have wrath. In this case, we're talking about my wrath. Nothing makes me hit the delete button faster than seeing my boss copied on a sales email. And I know that's kind of small to see, but this is an actual email that someone sent to one of my team members, and it says, "Hi, Patricia. We reached out to Brad Dean," that's my CEO, "in regards to your web development, but we ended up being referred to you as the person to speak to. What time on Friday works best for a call?" Oh my gosh. I wouldn't even respond to that. In this case, I don't think I did. I tried to black out any pertinent information. I don't know if you recognize this email, you know who you are. But we all get these all the time. When I was kind of thinking through these talking points, I don't know if you actually know my boss when you send an email like this. I don't know if you tracked him down like the stalker in the Netflix series You. But either way, he hired me to lead our marketing efforts. He trusts me to review proposals, to put out an RFP, to listen to pitches, to evaluate opportunities, and you should too. I think, when you're trying to go around a CMO or someone else on the staff and go to their boss, I don't know any situations where that really ends well. Brad Dean's never going to come to me and say, "Leah, I met this rep at a trade show and you really, really got to talk to them." Like, that's just not how it happens. This is another interesting email, which again, you can't really see, but kind of along the same lines. I thought this was interesting. They not only copied Brad Dean, but they copied Leah Chandler at hotmail.com, which is actually my personal email address. Yes, I still have a Hotmail account, but how they found it, I'm not quite sure. Just writing to follow up and ask if you've had a chance to read my previous emails. Obviously not. And then this was really funny. Looking for ways to work together with our air quotes, patented and cutting edge digital technology. It's like as if they weren't even sure themselves, was it cutting edge? Lots of things here. And, I don't know if these slides will be shared, but you could read my response that is colorful. The next is gluttony. The tourism industry is really small. I mean, this room, not indicative, but nonetheless, like it is a very small industry. We all know each other. We all talk to each other. DMOs specifically thrive on recommendations. I can't tell you the number of, Facebook chat groups are out there that, people are saying, hey, has anybody worked with these folks? Has anybody worked with these folks? It doesn't mean that there's not room for new products. It doesn't mean there's not any room for innovation, but be sure you have proof of that performance, case studies, referrals. No one wants to be the topic of a DMO marketing shirt sleeves session at Esto or a DMO Facebook chat group, right? They're out there, but that's where a lot of DMO folks go to make decisions about agencies and partners. Next is envy. Don't undermine my partners. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think I've assembled the best team of agencies, partners, and consultants in the whole business. They've been hired as the result of a very intensive RFP process. We've done contract negotiations. We've had robust KPI requirements for measurement. And I chose them. So if you're speaking badly about someone I work with or kind of trash talking their work, it's not only disrespectful to them, but it also kind of undermines my decision-making ability. So, jealousy doesn't look good on anyone. Lust. I worked at ad agencies for 12 years before coming to the DMO side. I get it. There's a lot of great vendors and partners that are out there, and everybody is looking for new business. And this is like, I probably could have put 100 logos if I had time to ask my team to find them all. But everybody has a responsibility to sniff out new business, especially right now. But instead of pitching me on your business, whether it's in an email or you're at the hotel lobby bar, wait until the moment is right and the client is actively looking for a new partner, or get your current clients to speak highly of you and their peers and to their peers and their counterparts, because again, I think that's where a lot of the new business happens is through those referrals and recommendations. My opinion is you have a much better chance at earning that potential client's respect and their business down the road versus trying to kind of get in on, building a relationship at the hotel bar. Not that relationships don't, though that's probably a whole nother session. But people do meet and do business at the hotel bars, but anyways, we're in COVID, so it's all different now. So a quick recap. I maybe sound kind of like a Debbie Downer talking about all of this. There's a science, there is an art to finding and winning new business for sure, and also improving those business relationships that you already have. Given the challenges that our industry is facing all year this year, we're all kind of pawns on this massive tourism business chessboard, and there's going to be a lot of movement in the coming months. Jobs are moving around, positions are moving around, agencies are going to be moving around as everyone kind of rebuilds and restructures. But I just encourage everyone to kind of keep these basic principles in mind in order to grow and improve your relationships and increase the odds of someone buying you a drink at the hotel bar next time. So that's kind of all I have. I don't know if I'm like way over time or way under time, but that wraps up the 7 deadly sins.